everyone, my name is Anna Euerle and I'm currently serving as the Minnesota FFA State Reporter. And today I'm here to talk with you all about how to stay on track during a debate and how to come to a conclusion at the end. Let's get talking! The first step to staying on track during your debate is creating an agenda. And for those of you who don't know what an agenda is, it's basically like a to-do list or a table of contents for your meeting. Now, typically the agenda is created by the advisor or the president, or in conjunction with the two, but you can also create one too, and here's how. So the agenda consists of an introduction, any reports of officers, whether that be the secretary or the treasurer or any officers really, the new business, the old business, and any conclusions. So now let's go through the order. So first what you're going to do is probably put about a 5 to 10 minute window at the beginning to get everybody settled in, get the meeting called to order, and just get everybody in one spot. Then you'll have any reports of officers. Typically this is the secretary and the treasurer. Then you will go into your old business, which is what you talked about last meeting, and then you'll go into new business, which is all of the business that you're going to vote or make a decision on this meeting. And then you'll go into your conclusion, which will include your closing remarks or any reminders that you need to have for your members. And so this little table of contents really helps keep everybody on track and provides everybody with the resource to know what's happening this meeting. Next, what we are going to do is make our own meeting agendas. So think about any meeting you've been to, whether that be a chapter meeting or really any meeting. It could be out of FFA too. And you're going to create an agenda for that meeting. Don't forget your introduction, any reports of officers, old business, new business, your conclusion, and your reminders. Now let's take some time to pause the video and create our agendas. Step 2 for staying on track during our meetings is keeping our own personal set of notes. So during discussion, you might not always be participating, and that's okay. But what you can do is grab a notebook and take some notes during your meeting. They can be notes for the entire board meeting, or they can be notes that are just pertaining to you. Whatever helps you remember what happened during the meeting is best. And so what I like to do is include main points such as due dates or things that are really important to me or things that I would like to bring up in discussion later on. You can also include any ideas that pop up in your head for the given time. And so I find that keeping these in my notebook is very handy dandy, especially if I get a couple days down from the meeting and I'm like, ooh, what was that meeting about? Then I can just flip through and see, oh, that meeting was about this. And so I would highly recommend that you all keep a detailed set of notes about what happens during your meetings. Otherwise, you may have a secretary that's also keeping secretary's minutes, but that might not always be as detailed as your own personal notes. So now we are going to pause the video and reflect a little bit about what we could include in our notes and what we shouldn't include in our notes. And feel free to even sketch a little design of how you would like to kind of lay out your notes in a notebook or on a sheet of paper. Our third step in this process is coming to conclusions in our debate. Debate can go on for quite a while and it might be a little bit confusing with everybody's different opinions in there. One thing that you need to keep firm in you is your own opinion. And make sure you share that with the group so everybody knows where you stand, but also make sure that everybody else is sharing their opinion too. After all, this is a group effort and we need to work as a team to come to this conclusion. So as we step closer to coming to our conclusion, we kind of need to figure out what's best for our organization. How does this decision impact it and what will be the results of making this decision? And second, where is the majority? Do the most people want this or do they not want this? And that's kind of where your decision lies. So in a traditional meeting, what you'll do is you will take a vote. And a vote is done by the president, and a majority vote is 50% plus 1 of your quorum or your voting body. And so your president will administer that, and then you will kind of come to a general agreement, sort of. But if you're in a more close-knit setting where it's just maybe an officer team or a couple of chapter members, what you can do is talk through it, create a pros list and a cons list, and really just talk through it with your advisor and get more opinions on it, and just make sure that what you're doing is in the best interest of your chapter. So next, what we are going to do is consider this. We want to get a pet hamster for our ag department, and as an officer team, you need to rally and talk together to really sell it at your next chapter meeting. So what we're going to do is create a pros and a cons list for our hopefully new pet hamster, and then one person will be the leader of the group and they will proceed to carry on with the vote. And so how that would go is your leader would say, is there any further discussion? And if there is none, they would say, hearing there is none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye. If you're in favor, you would say aye right now. All those opposed say no. If you were opposed, you would say no right now. And then you would state if the motion passes or fails. Remember, majority vote is 50% plus 1. So now, if you can remember all of that information, let's pause and get to it. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope that this helps you stay on track during your discussions and come to conclusions during debate. If you ever have any questions, feel free to come back and visit me in this video again. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your year.